Hey YouTubers, this is Paul Lentz back. Um, I promise to start making videos more, and I just couldn't help make one today. As most of you know, Donald Trump got indicted by the feds today, probably the most serious charge of basically trying to incite a riot and obstruction of justice when it came to the January 6th proceedings. And of all the charges that are against him, I think this is going to be the most serious one that gets him, in hot water. Um, the government basically had to bring charges against him. All those people that stormed the Capitol, they were only there because Trump said he was going to go there with them. The Trump and his supporters spent months from November 5th all the way to January 6th spewing this nonsense that it was stolen, that it was rigged, and Trump said that if you guys show up and fight, we can overturn this. And he tried to get the Congress to try to do it. And so all these people just bought into it. The same people who fall into the Jesus nonsense are the same people who buy into the fucking January 6th stuff. I mean, you look at all these motherfuckers. Go on YouTube and look at these videos of all those Trump supporters at the January 6th rally having crosses there. They had crosses there. They thought the end times were near. I mean, they had the crosses there. They even had the Confederate flag there. I mean, for the first time since the Civil War, that the Confederate fucking flag was inside the rotunda at the U.S. Capitol. That's how serious the January 6th was. And those people that showed up there, they ain't doing their own. They did not just decide one day to go, I think we're just going to invade the Capitol. No. They were fucking prodded. Fox News, Newsmax, Trump, Steve Bannon, and all these fucking Trump acolytes, they spent months feeding this nonsense to the Trump supporters who are fucking gullible, who fucking are basically starved for the Trump nonsense to continue. They fear Biden taking over because that would be a repudiation on the Trump years. And so they were like, they couldn't accept defeat. So when Trump threw them a bone and said, hey guys, there's a way out of this. Fake electors, throwing it to the Congress, doing all this bullshit, to say that, you know what, Biden got 8 million more votes than Trump did. And he did win in the Electoral College. But you know what? The states that he won in are also controlled by Republican legislators. Let's just throw it to them and let them decide it. Fuck the will of the people. We'll let the state legislatures decide it. Let me tell you, motherfucker, something. If for some reason Trump was able to be successful in the Republican legislatures in those states that that Biden won, were able to get away with fucking overturning the will of the people and sending those electors to Trump, we would have had a fucking riot in America. It would have been all-out civil war. I'm telling you. And maybe that's what these Republicans want. Maybe that's what they want. But you can't just sit there, like with our government, like punish the people who committed the January 6th atrocities, but the motherfuckers who planned it, who convinced the people that what they were doing was righteous, those motherfuckers also have to go to jail. They put our country in danger by riling up a bomb. They fucking lit the fuse by giving bullshit, false information, fake fucking news to these fucking gullible, dumbass fucking white people in rural America, who for so long they felt ignored by the Republican establishment. But what Trump did he tapped into that. He's like, you know what? There's a lot of voters out there I can fucking get that the Republican Party ignores. And that's the reason why DeSantis and all these other Republicans who are running against Trump right now are playing nice, because they don't want Trump voters to be like, you know what? Fuck you motherfuckers. You motherfuckers are mean to them. We're going to go home. Because without their vote, they'll get slaughtered in 2024. Slaughtered. So, even though Trump's getting indicted up his ass, the Republicans who are running against him are all united in saying it's unfair. Poor Trump. He's just a victim. What did he do to deserve all this? Cry me a fucking river. Unfucking real. But part of the reason why this, the January 6th shit was so successful when it comes to getting people to fucking buy into it, it's the same thing, the reason why religion has such an appeal. All a motherfucker has to do is say something. And say it's true, with some conviction, and people will believe in it. Hey, Jesus came down from a fucking mountain. He's alive. He rose from the dead. And if you believe in it, when you die, you're going to go to heaven. And so poor Slav that lived 2,000 years ago is going to be like, well, fuck. I'm going to go to heaven and get riches in heaven. I'm fucking buying that shit. That's how fucking stupid people are. People are fucking stupid. So I don't care whether it's Jesus 2,000 years ago rising from the dead, or fake electors, or the election was stolen. People are fucking stupid. They'll believe anything. 100%. Stop the steal. And the people that should be punished shouldn't be the people that just invaded the Capitol. It should be the motherfuckers that orchestrated it. 100%. And it takes a while. In the beginning, it was easier to go after the people that didn't have good lawyers, who thought they were patriots, and they fell for the Trump mantra. And by the way, where was Trump's lawyers during helping these people out? Nowhere to be seen. But Trump sure made sure that all the people that voted to the campaign, he made sure that the fine print in there said that he can write those donations anywhere he wants. Trump has plenty of high-priced lawyers. All those donations are going to help his fucking ass out. If it wasn't for Trump spewing the lies at the U.S. Capitol, January 6th would never happen. 100% factual. That's why that motherfucker was indicted. Okay? A reasonable jury will be able to decide that without Trump, January 6th doesn't happen. He's got to be found guilty and be sent to prison for that shit. Because as a nation, we will not have credibility around the world unless we punish our leaders who do shit like what Trump did. Kind of hard to tell China that Tiananmen Square was wrong and what Chairman Xi is doing is wrong to his people when Trump gets away with all this shit. Hold on a second. Poor, middle-class white people have more in common with poor and middle-class people who are black and Hispanic than they do with rich white people. But you know what? Delusional, poor and middle-class white people are like, one day I'm going to move up. I'm going to be that business owner. I'm going to get rich. And when I do, don't want to pay taxes. They all believe this shit. It's like, when you win the lottery. Lottery's up to Mega Millions right now is 1.2 billion. Let's say you win $1 billion in Mega Millions. You know how much in taxes you got to pay if you take the lump sum? If you take the lump sum, you get like 535. You'll be down to 375 million. So out of 1,275,000, you're down to 3.75 million after taxes if you take the lump sum. No reports is like, what? That ain't fair. I gotta pay all them taxes. You paid a $10 ticket and won 375 million after taxes. And you're bitching. Only in America. Well, let me tell you something. I did the math on that. Let's say you take 75 million out of that. And it's like, you know what, I'm going to take 75 million to buy me a home, to buy me some cars, some clothes, and then live off the rest for the next 5 years. Meanwhile, I'm going to get some fucking government bonds that pay 5%. Government certificates. And invest in, like, separate it out where, you get a total $300 worth of bonds. And you earn 15%. Or you earn 5%, which is $15 million off of $300 million. You add that to the principal. So instead of having 15 million, or excuse me, instead of having 300 million tax, next year you got 315 million tax. All right. Next year, you add the interest that you got, you add it. And it's like 300, so you got like 16 million and change. So now, you got 331 million and change in taxes. All right? So you gained $30 million in 2 years. Next year, 5%. All right? You do the same thing. All right? What do you got is off of 31 million? Huh? 31 million. Point is, after 5 years, you're up to like $80 million. All right, so that 75 million that you took to go fuck around, set up yourself in a house or whatever, it took you 5 million to get that back. And after that, you're earning money. It'll take you 10 years to get all that money back. The money that you had to pay taxes in, you got it all back with 15 years ago. There's no need to be greedy. The government needs the money to provide programs to people who are trying to get their better lot in life. Now, everybody's able to pull themselves up by the bootstraps. Okay? Now, everybody comes from a two-parent home. So, okay, if I were to win the lottery, you know what I'd do? I'm 51 years old. I would try to meet a young woman in her early 20s. And I would say to her, look, I just became a millionaire, a multi-millionaire. I want to marry a woman who's in her early to mid 20s, who's fertile, with a low body count. Someone who wants to have kids and get married and have a family. Now, I'm rich and I'm 6'2", so I got that going for me. But I know I'm not handsome. I know that I could be in better shape. Now I can hire a personal trainer and get in better shape right away, okay, over a period of time. But when it comes to handsome thing, I know I'm not the handsomest motherfucker around. But despite that, I believe that I have it in me to show a woman, given that I was rich, that I'm a good guy, that I will love her with all my heart, that I will do everything I can in my power to make sure that our kids are loved, adored, have every door open to them. They'll play team sports. They'll learn self-defense. And they'll know that daddy loves them no matter what. Now, if a woman can find that to be an attractive quality in a man, then something like this can work. If she can't, I'll go on to the next female. Because sometimes a woman, I think she has to make a decision like, maybe ideally, he may not be the most handsomest guy around, but he means what he says, and he has the means to follow through on what he wants to do. And that's what my hope is. But first, I gotta win the fucking lottery. Easier said than done, I get that. I get it. Now, what's the next thing I want to talk about? Joe the plumber. I remember in 2008, there was this guy named Joe the plumber. He was going around talking about the President Obama. He kind of bum rushed on President Obama at a rally, saying that he had this business in his mind that he wanted to start. And that President Obama's taxes, his tax plan, was going to make it even harder for him to, start this business. And so President Obama asked him, like, well, what kind of business you got? So he told him. He says, well, with what you're expecting to make, the taxes that we're proposing won't affect you. You'll be able to fucking make your money, and your tax rate won't go up. Well, guess what? It turns out that Joe the plumber actually did not have a plumber's license. He did not have a plumber's license. But he was going to get one. Just like Jesse Gleason in The Honeymooners was going to get one. I'm going to get one, Alex. I'm going to get one, and actually getting one are two different things. And you know what? The sad thing is that people who really, really, really want to get one are used and manipulated by those who, you know what, for better lack of way of putting it, don't give a fuck. They don't care. They simply don't care. Excuse me for a second. Poor and middle class white people have more in common with poor and middle class people who aren't white. That's a fact. White people in power have historically used religion to make the lower class white people feel that they are both better, more important than other people. People wonder why hold on a second. Get me some fucking that's right, guys. Oh.